It's my Booktube birthday, happy birthday to me. It's my Booktube birthday. Hello, I'm Charlotte and this is Books and Bargains. Today I'm coming to you with the Booktube birthday tag. Now this was originally created by Average Joe Reads, who I will link down below, although they don't seem to post videos anymore, but they still created this video. I have taken out a couple of the tag questions because they either just didn't appeal to me or one of the questions was your favourite book of the last year. Now I am going to be doing the mid-year freakout tag next year, and because my year runs from like January to December, I would find it hard to pick books kind of from last year until now. So yes, let's get into the questions. So the first and the easiest of the questions is, how many years are you celebrating on Booktube? And my channel turns 4. Now, I don't think I've ever committed to anything for 4 years. Apart from Tom, I've been in a committed relationship with him for 13 years, but I am the kind of person that picks up and drops hobbies like they're going out of fashion. I get really into something and then just as easily fall out of love with it. So to say that I've been doing Booktube now for 4 years is just, yeah, nobody's more surprised than I am, put it that way. Question 2 is, what has kept you motivated to continue making videos? And this is a little bit 3 or 4-fold, I'd say. Like, 1, I love sitting and talking about books. Reading has got me through some really dark times over the past few years. I have mentioned before, and I'll mention again because my subscribers jumped quite significantly earlier this year. I worked as a healthcare assistant during the pandemic on a COVID high dependency ward, and it was really hard to switch off once I got home. So reading really helped me through that. Also, I find it really hard to quieten my brain anyway, a mixture of anxiety and possible ADHD, though not diagnosed. That books they just literally take me away from whatever's going on. I've mentioned a lot recently in my vlogs that I'm really struggling at the moment with my IBS, and I spend a lot of days either in pain or fatigued, and reading is one of those hobbies that a lot of my hobbies, like one of my big hobbies is charity shopping, which I haven't been able to do very much recently because of being stuck at home. So knowing that books don't take too much, and especially since I discovered audiobooks, it's just kept me from slipping into a really dark place. And one of the big things that keeps me here on Booktube is you guys. You guys are fantastic. I love the little community that we've built here at Books and Bargains. I love talking to you about books. I love when you guys give me suggestions of books, and I love how there's no judgment on this channel. Especially as a romance reader, I think that we can sometimes get a bit of a stick of being not real readers, and actually nobody here judges the fact that I struggle with classics, I struggle with literary fiction. And yeah, you guys just keep me coming back and sitting here. All the time that you're enjoying watching my videos, I will keep making them. Question 3 is, what are your 3 favourite videos from the past year and why? And this is a real mixed bag. So number 1, I've got to mention my Masongi Beach hotel tour and review. I will leave all these linked below. This is the first video that I made that was a bit out of my comfort zone. So I love using YouTube as a resource before holidays to find out. I often think that videos are my preferred medium, so I can read a blog post with pictures, or I could look at TripAdvisor for pictures of the hotel and reviews, but I like to have a kind of set up in my head of what the place looks like before I go. And when me and Stacey were going to Masongi Beach Hotel for the first time last year, there was nothing of the sort online. So I decided I was going to vlog it anyway, because it was our first holiday. It's our first holiday as friends, and it was also a really, really long awaited holiday that kept getting cancelled due to the pandemic. So it was really special to us. And that review, I mean, at this time of filming, has something ridiculous, like 11,000 views. And also, we went back to the same hotel this year. I think if you've watched last week's vlog, you'll know that I didn't do a full kind of Corfu vlog because I wasn't very well. But I had messages. I was walking across from the shop. I was on my own. Stacey was in the room. I was walking back from the shop and I saw this family trying to take photos of them with their little girl. So I was like, oh, do you want me to take that picture for you? You know, I know it's hard to get one of all three. And then the next day I was in the sea and he came up to me with his phone with my video on and was like, this is you, right? And I was like, yeah. So they were from the Czech Republic. I don't know if they watch my videos or they just watch that one, but hi if you're watching. And also I was in the restaurant one day and this man was looking at me, and it made me feel a little bit like, why does he keep looking at me? And then he came over and he was like, you made a video about this place, didn't you? And I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, we booked it because we watched that. So that was it's the first time. I mean, I know that I influence people to read books all the time, but I was really happy to have done that video and made kind of people book that hotel. I mean, that made me feel properly #influencer. The second video that I want to talk about is my We Hit 2K video, and I have to give a shout out here to Ali from This Little Wonderful Life, or this Wonderful Little Life. I always get Ali's channel name mixed up, so I'm sorry. I will link it below. Ali mentioned me in her video, and I went from being stuck just under 2k to over 2k within like a week. So I can't thank Ali enough for that. Ali's videos are wonderful as well. I've been watching them the last few days. I've been really unwell and I've just been watching her old vlogs on repeat, and they're just so comforting. And the third one, I'm going to cheat here. This isn't just one video. This is all my vlogs, because pretty much every week that I upload my weekly vlog, I convince myself that nobody wants to sit and listen to me ramble about books and belly pain and what's been going on that week. And yet every week there is a good chunk of my subscribers that do come back and watch that video. So thank you for making me feel less alone, really. A lot of you share your stories with me as well and talk to me on Instagram, and it just, if me sitting here in my bedroom talking to a camera can make just one person feel less alone, then it's definitely worth it. And I don't know why I put so much pressure on myself, because I enjoy watching vlogs when people literally sit and chatter about nothing, and you guys obviously do too. Question 4 is, what have you struggled with in the past year and how did you overcome it? And again, that's really what I've struggled with, this imposter syndrome, and flitting between wondering if I'm giving too much of myself to the internet and wanting to share everything. Some of you know, and especially those that are close to me, I really struggled last August. I think a lot of things happened at once and it's taken me a long time to get, I'm still not feeling myself obviously, as physically my body is not feeling great, but mentally I'm in a much better place. Within the space of, so on my birthday last year, my birthday is the 22nd of July, my nana had a fall. We knew that she'd got dementia and we'd been trying to make sure that she had meals and things and helping her where we could, but she didn't want carers, and had just, the fall was kind of the catalyst that made us really act, because she then spent nearly 6 weeks in hospital. In that time we nearly lost her a couple of times, and it just really showed us, I mean, when she got weighed we were like, oh, I just, yeah, everything changed in that summer. And then there was a lot going on and I continued trying to push through it as if nothing was wrong, rather than just giving myself that time to go, you know what, you're not in the best place right now. You definitely shouldn't be doing live shows. You're angry with the world. And yeah, I then took a big break from Booktube, which was the best thing I've ever done. And then once Nana came out of hospital, we moved her in with us. So we moved from our house into a bungalow and moved her in with us. So in the space of like 6 weeks, we had that where she fell. I was going backwards and forwards to the hospital every day. And the hospital's not close to us and I don't drive. So I really ran myself into the ground, and then I got COVID again for the 3rd time, and I was completely burnt out, and I didn't know if I was ever going to come back to Booktube. And then the first video where I did come back, so many people were just so lovely and said, you know, supportive things, and that is the thing that I've struggled the most with, is just wanting to be myself and put most of my life out there. You know that I will talk about anything on this channel, but also at the same time knowing that I don't always have to. Sometimes it's okay to either sit down and just talk about some books, or just take a break. And yeah, I don't really know what to say more on that one. So the 5th and final question is, where do you see your channel in a year's time, and what do you hope to achieve? I don't know where I see my channel in a year's time. There's a lot of plans that I would have said a year ago, like I wanted to get out more. I really enjoyed filming my charity shop crawl and haul video in Oxford, and I have a list of places that I was going to film them. But between becoming a full-time carer for Nana and my own health, I don't leave the house very often. As you're seeing this, I should have been at an event in Leicester, but I'm just not well enough to do that. And so I'd say, like, I want to commit to talking more to people in the comments. I would like to do more live shows if that's something that you guys would like. And also I would like to resurrect my Patreon. I had a Patreon called the Cozy Blanket Book Club, and I would like to create again on there, but I'm just not sure at the moment that I could dedicate the time to giving people value for money over there. Obviously, when you watch my channel here, I do get a small bit of AdSense, which is great, but Patreon is something that I do feel even more pressure on, because people are paying to see those videos or join that book club. So yeah, maybe that's something that I will come up with in the next year, but I don't know. So I hope you've enjoyed that video. It has been a much shorter one than normal, because quite honestly, I'm not feeling well. But I hope you've enjoyed my answers. Let me know down below what you would like to see from my channel in the next year. And until next time, look after yourselves. Bye.